Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be having private conference of six civil works project, particularly with the contract ID number 24BI037 up to 24BI0042. But before we start, let us all stand for a prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Heavenly Father, the fount of all goodness and grace, the cause of wisdom, the source of intelligence, we welcome you, O Lord, to this meaningful gathering of your beloved, who continuously give you thanks for every opportunity to learn something new, become fruitful to the works of your creation. May we find bliss in today's session and become more productive children and co-creators of the earth. This we ask and pray through Christ the Lord. Amen.
Let us all be seated. To our YouTube live viewers, prospective bidders, fellow back members, once again, good morning. May I ask the Secretariat, who is the selected observers for the NGO? Kindly play Engineer Brian Nela Gusto, the selection.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the selection of the observers for today's procurement activities. Kindly play the selection. And our observers for today is from the Philippine Partnership for Development of Human Resources in Rural Areas, sir.
Thank you, Secretariat. So our official observers for today, aside from, may I know who are the other invited observers?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Our invited observers. First is the resident auditor from the Commission on Audit, DPW's Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. Our second official observer, sir, is Mr. Caridad Corridor, National Coordinator from the Philippine Partnership for Development of Human Resources in Rural Areas, all PDHRRA from Loyola Heights, Quezon City. And our third official observer is Engineer Gladys G. Tiburcio, alternate observer from the National Contractors Association of the Philippines Incorporated from Aritao, Nueva Vizcaya. So these are our three official observers for today's private conference. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian. They are not present today, but do we have any other mode of invitation, Engineer Brian Augusto or Head Secretariat?
Yes, sir. We sent them a letter of invitation through our official email. Invitation to observers for contract ID number 24BI0037 to 24BI0042 for the 6 Civil Works project dated January 5, 2024 at 2:26 p.m. Thank you.
So as they are not present, so we'll just continue for the procurement activities for today, January 10, 2024. But before we start, may I again request our Head Secretary to read the attendance and declare we have a quorum.
Thank you again, Mr. Bakir, and a pleasant morning to all and to all our YouTube live viewers and prospective bidders. And for the attendance of the bids and awards composition members, we have Engineer Valentino B. Sareno, BAC Chairman, Chief Planning and Design Section, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe,
Present.
BAC Vice Chairman, Chief Quality Assurance Section, Architect IVO Salazar, Provisional Member and User for all types of project procurement, Engineer Jermaine B. Benavista, Provisional Member and User from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Bayani F. Molina, Provisional Member and User from the Construction Section. And for the roll call of the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Brian Neil G. Augusto, Head. For the BAC Secretariat members, we have Mr. Remio A. Santos, Member, BAC Secretariat, Ms. Simonette T. Lacorda, Member, BAC Secretariat, Ms. Ande Erica Fatima P. Cabang, Member, BAC Secretariat, Mr. Allen Edward G. Damaso, Member, BAC Secretariat, Ms. Lutgarda D. Reyes, Member, BAC Secretariat. And for the technical working groups, sir, who are present for today's activity, we have Engineer Myrtle G. Degamo, TWG Member, Engineer Narcisa M. Santos, TWG Member, Ms. Diane Sheldon V. Balico, TWG Member, Engineer Angie A. Reyes, TWG Member, and Engineer Reden A. Milyare, Member, TWG. And for the technical personnel, sir, who are present for today's activity, we have Engineer Joseph Noel S. Adukul, Engineer 2 from the Maintenance Section, Engineer Marston Glenn A. Digamo, Engineer 2 from the Planning and Design Section, and Engineer Rizami A. Tulyao, Engineer 2 from the Planning and Design Section. Sir, majority of the BAC composition members are hereby present for today's private conference. Therefore, there is a constitution of quorum. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian L. Augusto, our Head Secretariat. Since majority of the BAC members are present, as BAC Chair, I now declare that these procurement activities is officially open and in order. So to continue, I will first read before we will go to the agenda for today, which is private conference for the 6 Civil Works project. I will first read the Section 22 of the Republic Act 9184, the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation, particularly Section 22, which is private conference. 22.3, the private conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements, and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. Pre-bid conference may be conducted in person or face-to-face through video conferencing, webcasting, or similar technology, or a combination thereof. Procuring entities with video conferencing capabilities that have manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, contractors, and or consultants that also have video conferencing capabilities may conduct their pre-bidding conferences electronically. The pre-bid conference is open to prospective bidders, and in case of procurement of consulting services, the shortlisted bidder, but attendance shall not be mandatory. 22.4. The minutes of the pre-bid conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the pre-bid conference, and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 calendar days upon written request. Decisions of the PAC amending any provisions of the bidding document shall be issued in writing through a supplemental bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. That is the section 22, which is the private conference of the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act 9184. So to continue, let's go for let's proceed for the main agenda for today for the private conference. The first agenda, basic contract data to be discussed to us by the preparers of the 6 civil works project. Second agenda, requirements of bidding documents to be discussed to us by our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Ilagusto. The third agenda, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal. Again, our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Ilagusto. For the fourth agenda, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award from the Secretariat. And the fifth agenda, questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representative of procuring entity, BAC. 6, other matters. And the last one, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued, if any. So, to continue, we'll go for the first agenda, which is the basic contract data. For the first project with contract ID number 24BI0037, may request the preparer, Engineer Joseph Dugol, to discuss to us the scope and details of this particular project. Engineer Adukol, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. For the first civil work for today, contract ID number 24BI0037, entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction, Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Facilities within Major River Basins and Principal Rivers, Rehabilitation of Flood Control Structure along Magat River, Phase 2, Barangay Santa Rosa, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the project is at Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. The indicative approved budget is 49 million, and the project description is replacement of damaged riprap to slope protection works, steel sheet piled with embankment. The duration of the project is 235 calendar days. The cost of bid documents is 25,000. The source of fund is regular infra for the year 2024. PowerPoint presentation, please. So this is the location of the proposed project. It is located at Santa Rosa, Bayombong, Nueva, Vizcaya. And this is the layout plan, the proposed project. The proposed project, sir, is going upstream. So the orientation of the layout plan is from right to left. Next slide, please. This is the topographic plan. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Then this is the detail or the typical section of our proposed sheet pile with slope protection. For this project, sir, the length of the steel sheet pile to be used here is 9 meters of length. Then at the top of the steel sheet pile, we have a 0.5 by 0.5 pile cap with a slope protection of 5 meters height with a slope of 1:1. And at the top of it, we have a 1 meter width with a parapet. Then with an embankment of 6 meters wide with a slope of 1:2. Then the thickness of the slope protection is 0.3. And the dimensions of the parapet is 0.5 height and the thickness is 0.25. I think that's all, sir, for contract ID number 24BI0037. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you, Engineer Joseph Atukul, for discussing the project number 1 with contract ID number 24BI0037. So, from the Secretariat, do you have any questions, clarification from our YouTube Live viewers, especially our prospective bidders for the first project? None? So, let's go with our fellow back members. Let's start from the construction section, the provisional member, Engineer Bayani F. Molina. Do you have any amendment for the first project discussed, presented? Mm. Go repeat, Engineer Bayani F. Molina, do you have any amendment for the first, isa lang.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted, Engineer Molina. How about Engineer Risa Tulyao, also a provisional member? Do you have any amendment for
No
this?
amendment, sir.
Noted. So, let's go for back Vice Chair Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe for the first part.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project, so she will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So, let's proceed for the second project for today with contract ID number 24BI0038. Again, may I request Engineer Joseph Adukul, the preparer for this particular project, to discuss to us the details, scope and details of this particular project. Engineer Adukul, take it away.
Thank you again, sir. For the second contract for today, with a contract ID number 24BI0038, entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods. flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Phase 1, Barangay Busilac, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. It is located at Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya, and the indicative approved budget is 49 million. The project description is replacement of damaged rubble concrete revetment to slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. The duration is 231 calendar days, and the duration of the project is 230. The cost of bid documents is 25,000, and the source of fund is regular infra, FY 2024. PowerPoint presentation, please. This is the title of the second contract for today. This is the location of the proposed project. It's quite near at Taman, going downstream. Then this is the layout plan of the proposed project. And this is the topographic plan of the proposed project. The project is 300 meters length. Okay, next slide, please. So this is the typical section of the proposed project. For this project, the length of the steel sheet pile is also 9 meters. And at the top of the steel sheet pile, we have a pile cap consists with a dimension of 0.5 by 0.5. And at the top of the pile cap, we have a concrete slope protection with a thickness of 0.3 meters and with a height of 5 meters and a slope of 1:1. And at the top of it, we have a 1 meter for walkway and 6 meters of embankment with a 1:2 slope at the back. And for the parapet, we have a 0.5 meters high parapet, and the thickness is 0.25 meters. That's all, I think so, sir, for contract ID number 24BI0038. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Atukul, for presenting to us the second project with contract ID number 24BI0038. Again, from the Secretariat, do you have any questions, clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders for the second project? None. So let's proceed to the fellow back members. Let's start from a provisional member, Engineer Risa Tulyao. Do you have any amendment for the second project?
Good morning, sir. I would like to amend the project description. As posted, replacement of damaged riprap to slope protection work, close open steel sheet pile with embankment. Instead of riprap, it will be changed by rubble concrete revetment.
Okay, damaged rubble concrete revetment. Okay, take note, Secretariat.
That's all, sir.
So, for this second project, about the first project, the same case? Mm. Mm. So, so for only for the second project, damage rubble concrete revetment. Santo Pasilo. Okay, noted. About Engineer Bayani of Molina from the construction section, so from provisional member.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. Okay. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe for the second project. Do you have any amendment?
I'll go with Engineer Risa May Tulyao, Mr. Chair, that the word riprap be replaced by rubble concrete revetment.
Okay, noted. Mr. Back Vice Chair. So take note, Engineer Brian Awusko, our amendment for this project. Correction from the project description, especially the damage, the riprap, change to the rubble concrete revetment.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, let's continue for the third project for today with contract ID number 24PI0039. Again, the preparer of this particular project may request Engineer Joseph Atukul to present to us the scope and details of this particular project. Engineer Atukul, take it away.
Thank you, sir. For the for the third civil works with a contract ID number 24BI0039 entitled Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction, Maintenance of Flood Mitigation Structures and Drainage Systems, Construction of Manamtam Flood Control along Matuno River, Section 2, Bambang, Nueva, Vizcaya. The project location is at Bambang, Nueva, Vizcaya. And the approved ABC is 49 million. The project description is construction of 300 linear meters slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment. The duration of the project is 230 calendar days, and the cost of bid document is 25,000. The source of fund is regular infra for the year 2024. PowerPoint presentation, please. This is the location of the proposed project. It is located downstream of the proposed dam at Matuno. Then this is the layout plan of the proposed project. It has a distance of 300 meters and the azimuth is 248 degrees, 49 minutes, and 11 seconds from the existing rubble concrete revetment. Next slide, please. This is the topographic plan of the proposed project. Next slide, please. And this is the typical section of the proposed project. For this project, the length of the steel sheet pile is 8 meters. And at the top of the steel sheet pile, we have a pile cap with a dimension of 0.5 by 0.5. Then at the top of the pile cap, we have a slope protection with a thickness of 0.3 meters with a height of 5 meters and a slope of 1:1. And at the top of that, we have a sidewalk with a 1.5 meters width with parapet. The dimension of the parapet is 0.5 meters high and 0.25 meters thick. And we have a 6 meters width of the embankment with a slope of 1:2 at the back. And I think that's all, sir, for the third civil work for today. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Joseph Atukul, for discussing to us the third project with contract ID number 24BI0039. So again, may I ask for the Secretariat, do you have any questions or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders for the third project? None. So, fellow back members, let's start from provisional member, Engineer Risa Tuliao. Do you have any amendment for the third project discussed?
No
Presented?
amendments, sir.
Noted, Engineer Tuliao. How about Engineer Jermin Buenavista from the Planning and Design section, or also provisional member?
I have no amendment.
Noted. About Engineer Bayani Apolina from the construction section?
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe?
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, majority of the back members are no amendment with this third project with contract ID number 24BI0039. So, we'll adopt the basic contract data as advertised. Secretariat, take note.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
For the fourth project with contract ID number 24BI0040. So may request Engineer Miltel Decamo, the preparer of this particular project, to discuss to us the basic contract data and other scope and details of this particular project.
Thank you, sir.
Engineer
So,
Decamo.
for contract ID number 24BI0040, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction/maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage systems, construction of Bambang Kupas CIS canal lining and flood control structure, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Indicative approved budget for the contract is 19,600,000 pesos. Project description, construction of 400 linear meter reinforced concrete canal. Project duration is 201 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 25,000 pesos. And source of fund is regular infra FY 2024. So for the technical details of the project, next slide please. The project site is situated along Namorok Creek in Barangay San Fernando, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. It is approximately 1.2 kilometers from the Bambang Public Market. Next slide, please. So the slide is showing the location map with the project limits. Next slide. So the project involves the construction of a 400-meter long reinforced concrete canal. The reinforced concrete canal has a depth of 2.5 meters, thickness of 0.3 meters, and a width that varies along the alignment. Next slide. So the slide shows the typical section of the canal with a width of 2.5, width of 2 meters, 3.5, and a typical section of canal with PCCP. Next slide. So, canal with a width of 2.5 meters will be constructed from Station 0 to Station 40, Station 70 to Station 98.5, Station 118.5 to Station 148, and Station 153 to Station 400. Canal with a width of 2 meters will be constructed from Station 45 to Station 65. In Station 40 to Station 45, canal width varies from 2.5 to 2 meters. In Station 65 to Station 70, canal width varies from 2 meters to 2.5 meters. Station 98.5 to Station 108.5, canal width varies from 2.5 to 3.5 meters. And in Station 113.9 to Station 118.5, canal width varies from 3.5 to 2.5. So the slide shows the details of the reinforcing bars of the proposed canal. Bar 1 and 2 is 16 mm diameter bars spaced at 220 mm and 200 mm respectively. Bar 3 and 4 is 16 mm diameter bars spaced at 220 mm. Bar 5 is 12 mm diameter bars spaced at 240 mm. Bar 6 is 12 mm continuous bars for wall and slab spaced at 250 mm. And bar 7 are 12 mm diameter corner bars. So the transportation of aggregates will be carried out from Makate Quarry, approximately 4 kilometers away from the project site. That's all, sir, for the details of contract ID number 24BI0040. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Myrtle Digamo, for the presentation of this port project. So again, from the Secretariat, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, has questions or clarification for this port project? None. So fellow back members, let's start from Engineer Risa Tulyao. Do you have any amendment for this port project?
I have no amendments, sir.
Noted, Engineer Tulyao, our provisional member from the planning, Engineer Jermin Benavista.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted, about Engineer Bayani of Molina from the construction section.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our
No amendments, Mr. Chair, but I would like to ask the engineer who prepared the plans for the communal irrigation system. Are you going to hold on, to follow the route of the existing irrigation canal or proposed irrigation canal? If it does a proposed irrigation canal, how about the right of way for the irrigation canal?
We follow the alignment of the existing creek.
Existing canal?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned a while ago that the width of the canal is more or less 2.5,
Yes.
maximum of 2.5.
Yes.
Napakalaki naman ng width nung irrigation canal. And what was the source of your irrigation system?
Yung creek, sir. May existing creek po yun. Yung Namook Creek po.
Yung?
Namook Creek, sir. Sa San Fernando.
Meron bang creek doon?
Meron.
Doon sa may box culvert?
Yes.
Oh, the source of the box culvert is emanating from the Bambang drainage.
Yun
Di ba?
naman po ang propose ng NIA po.
NIA.
Yes.
No, I'm asking for the benefit of the mga bidders natin. So the design of the communal irrigation system is made by the National Irrigation System,
Yes, sir.
NIA.
Yes.
Okay.
Coordinate po.
Okay. So that is for the information of our prospective bidders that the design of the canal was designed by the National Irrigation Administration.
Yes.
Yun lang. Okay, thank you.
thank you, Engineer Danilo E. Bernabe, for asking to the preparer the design. So we will take note, Engineer Brian Nela Gusto, that we have no amendment for this particular project, the port project with contract ID number 24BI0040. So we'll adopt the basic contract data as advertised. Mr. Chair. So let's continue for the second to the last project, the fifth one with contract ID number 24BI0041. I request Engineer Marston Glenn Digamo, the preparer of this particular project, to discuss to us the scope and details of this particular project. Engineer Digamo, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to everyone. For the contract 24BI0041 and the project name, Organizational Outcome 2, Protect Lives and Properties Against Major Floods, Flood Management Program, Construction/Maintenance of Flood Mitigation Structures and Drainage System, Construction of Backer Flood Control Structures along Lamat River, Barangay Backer, Bagabag, Nueva, Vizcaya. The location of the project is Bagabag, Nueva, Vizcaya. Indicative approved project is 96,500,000 pesos only. Project description, construction of 650 linear meter slope protection works, close open parenthesis, steel sheet pile with embankment. The duration of the project is 321 calendar days. Cost of bid documents is 50,000 pesos only. The source of fund is regular infra for year 2024. Next slide, please. The slide shows a satellite view of the project, which is 250 away from Lamut Bridge if you are facing downstream. It also shows the proposed alignment of the project labeled by the red line and the existing revetments labeled by the yellow line. Next slide, please. The slide shows the layout plan of the project showing the total length of 650 linear meter constructed in between of two existing revetments. Next slide, please. The picture at the left side shows the existing concrete revetment at the upstream, and the right side shows the picture of the existing revetment at the downstream. Next slide, please. The slide shows us the topographic view of the project, visualizing the contours of the location, alignment of the project, flow of the Lamut River. And the slide also shows the physical location of the concrete protection, retaining walls, and it also provides the latitude and longitude of the proposed project. Next slide, please. The slide shows us the typical section of the concrete protection from station 00 to station 650, which is showing us 7-meter Z-type steel sheet pile, and the concrete slope protection has a total height of 6 meters with a slope of one horizontal and one vertical, and a berm at 3 meters. And the top of the concrete protection has a clear length of 1.25, which is called the walkway, and a compacted embankment of 6 meters. Next slide, please. The slide shows us the reinforcement of the pile cap with a dimension of 600 mm by 600 mm with a 16 mm diagonal longitudinal bars, stirrup of space at 200 mm, passing through the handling hole of the steel sheet pipe. Next slide, please. This is an isometric view of the retaining wall and the slope protection. Next slide, please. And this is the typical view showing the typical section of a retaining wall showing the rebars vertical and horizontally and its spacing. Next slide, please. This is an isometric view of the retaining wall connecting from the existing revetments from beginning and the existing revetment at the end of the proposed project. Next slide, please. This is the...
Excuse me, Marston.
Yes, sir.
Pakikon mo yung si Allen, yung height para makita ng ating prospective bidders. What is the total height from the top of the pile cap?
From the top of the pile cap, it's the total height of 6 meters. Sir.
6 meters.
Yes, sir.
And then meron tayong berm
na 1 meter po at the middle, or which is at the 3 meters, sir, from the top of the pile cap.
And then yung from the from the river bed to the top of the pile cap, ilan yun?
River bed from top of pile cap, sir. It is varies from 7 to 7.5, sir.
So nakaangat kasi from your figure, nakaangat kasi yung pile cap.
Yes, sir.
Wherein yung ibang flood control natin, yung pile cap is nasa baba.
So yung
Halos level ng riverbed.
Yung ano lang, sir, po kasi parang nilagyan ko lang po ng working area, binaba ko lang po siya ng 1.5 para po makapagtrabaho siya. Yung parang cut niya na yun, sir.
Do you have other sections to show na kung paano yung configuration, yung cross section for the information of our prospective bidders lang?
Cross section,
Meron ka ba
yung
bang
sa
typical?
una.
How about the typical?
Yes, sir, meron po silang
Pakibalikan nyo nga para makita lang for the
Sige po,
consumption of our
pakibaba po.
prospective
Sige
bidders.
po, pakibaba. Ayan po. Yes, sir. Mag-add lang po ako ng sir, ng binaba ko lang po siya. Binagyan ko siya ng working area dun, sir. Pero usually, sir, yung design po kasi dati ng pile cap, it's either ka-level po siya ng ordinary water level or mas mababa po? Ay, mas mababa po. Sorry. Yes po.
What is the reason behind na meron tayong berm?
The reason behind, sir, kasi dapat po, pag nagde-design po tayo ng slope protection, we should have at least the maximum of 5 meters. Beyond 5 meters, we should provide berm at 1 meter berm. Beyond 5 meters yun po. Yes, sir. This would be yung last, patingin na lang po sa dyan. Ito po yung isometric view natin pag I designed that the retaining wall would be special kasi para ma-contain niya po yung existing nating embankment po. Tapos next slide please.
What is the spacing of the retaining wall?
Every 50 meters po, sir. Kasi yun po yung sa
For the information of our prospective bidder, there is a retaining wall every 50 meters.
Yes, sir. And then special design po kasi sa end po at saka sa beginning kasi meron pong existing po which would contain yung embankment po ng existing, sir. Kaya nag-additional po ako ng parang rectangular po doon para ma-contain yung embankment.
Yes, because in our previous presentation, the retaining wall is naka-slope siya doon sa design slope nung revetment.
Yes, sir.
Wherein dito, naka-portrude siya.
Yes, sir. Para ma-visualize po nila yung connection between the existing at yung proposed pa natin.
So, lahat ba ng every 50 meters, ganyan yung typical section nung retaining wall?
Hindi po, sir. Sa end lang po at sa beginning, sir.
Okay. Yes, that is for the information kasi hindi mo nasabi kanina na from the beginning up to the end, ganyan
Sir.
yung itsura.
Yes, sir.
But then, intermediate, wala siyang palikpik na ganyan.
Wala po, sir. Sa end lang po. Saka sa
Yun lang. Okay. Thank you.
next slide, please. Tapos ito na po yung additional reinforcement niya para po sa end saka sa beginning po. Yes, sir. Yung which it would be reinforced 44 vertical bars, 16 mm, and 44 12 mm for its horizontal bars. Space at 40. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How about the thickness of the retaining wall?
The retaining wall has a thickness of 0.30, 300 mm. 300 mm. Sa ano nga po sa isometric nung yung pinakauna po. Ayun po. Yun po yung the typical section of footing. It would be a total of a length of 8.63 by 4.5 and a thickness of 30 provided with a gravel bedding of 0.1.
So you designed it cantilever type?
Ay, kwan po, sir. Yung dyan po, sir, yung one side lang po kasi yung papakita pero nasa middle po siya, sir.
Wala kang plan or typical section for the retaining wall?
Ay, hindi ko na po nailagay, sir, yung side, yung
Well,
isometric
para
na
alam
lang po.
nung ating prospective
Yes, sir.
bidders na.
Nasa plano naman.
Okay.
Yung isa, yung before, ay sige. Yung before po. Yung sige pa. Ayan po, papakita naman po dyan yung ano, yung reinforcement ng ano, sir, nung footing. Wala lang po akong yung section C. Cut section po na. Yes, sir. 30.30 din po. Yes, sir. Double reinforced din siya, sir. Top and bottom na 16 mm, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Marston Glenn Decamo, for the presentation of this PIT project with contract ID number 24BI0041. Again, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, have questions, clarifications of the PIP project? None. So, fellow back members, let's start from Engineer Risa Tuliao.
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. About Engineer Jermin Benavista, provisional member from the Planning and Design section.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. About Engineer Bayani Molina, provisional member from the construction section.
No amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, since we have no, majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project with contract ID number 24BI0041, then Secretariat take note that we'll adopt the basic contract data as advertised.
Well noted, Mr. Chair.
So let's continue for the last civil works project for today, number 6, with contract ID number 24BI0042. May request Engineer Risa May Tulyao, the preparer, the uh, unit head for the highway, to present to us this particular project. Engineer Tulyao, take it away.
Good morning again, Mr. Chair, and good morning, everyone. For the contract ID number 24BI0042 with project name Organizational Outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, tertiary roads, Bambang Kasibu Solano Road, kilometer post 320 plus 029 to K0321 plus 250. The location of the project is Quezon, Nueva Vizcaya, with indicative approved project for the contract 49 million pesos. The project description is road reconstruction of 1.472 kilometer by 6.70 meter width by 280 mm thick PCCP. The duration of the project is 216 calendar days. The cost of bid document is 25,000 pesos and the source of fund is regular infra fiscal year 2024. Next slide, please. Next. This is the location of the project. It is approximately 12.4 kilometer from the Quezon Municipal Hall. The quarry site or the quarry source is the Magat River, Magat River Majangat section, and it is approximately 19 kilometer away from the project site. The material source is located at Solano, and it is approximately 23.65 kilometer away from the project site. This is the location plan. The start of the project is 3 KO 320 plus 029 to K0 321 plus 250 with the length of 1.472 kilometers. Next slide, please. For the typical section, it has an existing PCCP of 20 and be replaced by 3.25 by 2 lanes, 3.35 by 3.35, and a thickness of 28 mm thick PCCP, as well as the shoulder 1.5 meter width and a thickness of 230 mm thick. Next slide, please. For the typical section with crib wall, the crib wall has a length of 28.5 meters from station 320 plus 250.5 to 320 plus 730. It has also widening on the right side with a thickness of 280 and a width of 3.35 meters. Next slide, please. For the section with existing cross section, it will cross drain. It will be extended with two lines 9, 10 with it, proposed rubble concrete slope protections. This is showing the geotag photo of the beginning of the project at 320 plus 20.
Thank you, Engineer Risa Tulyao, for the presentation for the last project for the day with contract ID number 24BI0042. So again, from the Secretariat, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, have questions or clarifications for this particular project with contract ID number 24BI0042? None? So, fellow back members, so I will not ask Engineer Tulyao. So, let's call Engineer Jermin Benavista from the Planning and Design section. The
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
noted, Engineer Benavista. Our provisional member from the construction section, Engineer Bayani F. Molina.
I have no amendment, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project with contract ID number 24BI0042, so take note, Secretariat, that will adopt the basic contract data as advertised.
Well noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So let's continue for the second agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents. Engineer Brian Augusto, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for the second agenda, which is the requirements of the bidding documents. Are applicable for civil works projects with contract ID number 24BI0037, 24BI0038, and 24BI009 for the flood control projects. For ITB clause 14.2A, for B, the following minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB clause 40.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have one bagger mixer, capacity required units, 4 units. Water truck, required units is 1. Backhoe, required unit is 1. Water pump, required units is 4. Bulldozer, required units is 1. Payloader, required units is 1. Dump truck, required units is 2. Vibro hammer or hydraulic operated, required units is 1. Crawler crane, required units is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to DO number 11, series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and department order number 27, series of 2018, strict application for Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH. For contract ID number 24BI0040, listen, 24BI0040, for ITB clause 14.2 AB, the minimum work experience for the following are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of civil experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For the ITB clause 14.2 A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. We have the water pump, required units is 4. Backhoe with breaker, 0.80 cubic meter, 1.04 cubic yards. Required units is 2. Dump truck, 12 cubic yards, required units is 2. Cutting outfit, required units is 1. Motorized road grader, required unit is 1. Vibratory roller, required units is 1. Water truck or pump, required unit is 1. Transit mixer, required unit is 4. Concrete vibrator, required unit is 2. Concrete bus plant, 30 cubic meter, required unit is 1. Payloader, required unit is 2. Concrete screeder, required unit is 1. Concrete saw, required unit is 1. Bar cutter, required unit is 1. 1 bagger mixer, required unit is 1. Cargo service truck, bar bender, and backhoe, required unit is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For the street, for the minimum materials testing equipment and DO 127, Series of 2018, strip application of Republic Act 9184 to conduct of post-qualification bidders with delayed ongoing projects. For contract ID number 24BI0042, yung last 42. For ITB Clause 14.2A, for B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. We have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position, required unit is 3. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3. For ITB Clause 14.2A4, the minimum major equipments are the following. We have the payloader, required unit is 1. Dump truck, required unit is 2. Water truck, pump, required unit is 1. Cargo service truck, 9 to 10 metric tons. Low bed trailer, backhoe, wheel mounted, required unit is 1. Backhoe, 0.80 cubic meter to 1.04 cubic yards, required unit is 1. Paint compactor, required unit is 1. Motorized road grader, required unit is 1. Vibratory roller, required unit is 2. Bulldozer, DH6 Series 2, PSDS, required unit is 1. 1 bagger mixer, required unit is 1. Concrete vibrator, required unit is 2. Bar cutter, required unit is 1. Joint sealer machine, required unit is 1. Transit mixer, required unit is 1. Concrete batch plant, concrete screeder, concrete saw and backhoe with breaker, required unit is 1. Bar bender, required unit is 1. Roller clean, applicator machine, kneading machine, and boom truck, required unit is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017, for the minimum materials testing equipment, and Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184 to conduct a post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. Sir, that's all for the requirements of the bidding documents for the agenda number 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Augusto, for presenting to us for the second agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents. So let's continue for the third agenda, which is documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. Again, from the Secretariat, may I request Engineer Brian Augusto for this third agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the third agenda, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals, will be played through audio recording, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Secretariat, please play the pre-recorded audio presentation for the third agenda.
Technical and financial components. Number 1, technical component envelope, Class A documents. For legal documents, letter A, valid Philgibbs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or letter B, registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved with the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And letter F, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, or PICAB license, or special PICAB license in case of joint ventures. And registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And letter F, original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also the certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, project requirements, which shall include the following. First, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. Third, list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and/or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor, or the duration of the project, as the case may be. And last, list of contractors' minimum material testing equipment, which are owned as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For letter J, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement o OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperatives, or original special power of attorney of all members of joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, letter K, the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamped received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, Class B documents. Letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement, or JVA, in accordance with the Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Number 2, financial component envelope. Letter N, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under Republic Act number 9184. Letter O, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. And letter P, duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And letter Q, cash flow by quarter. Technical and financial.
That's all, sir, for the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including their technical and financial proposals. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Augusto, for the third agenda. So again, we request from the Secretariat again for the fourth agenda, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair, and for the fourth agenda, for the criteria and procedures for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids post-qualification award will be played also to audio recording, sir. Thank you.
Again, Secretariat, kindly play the pre-recorded presentation for the fourth agenda.
Pre-bid conference, detailed evaluation of bids. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including or applicable bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive. But specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. Arithmetical correction. Consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding document. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Between total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Between stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Between unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding document. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the BAC its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to the following. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure project offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. Verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned, leased, under, purchased by the bidder for use in the contract. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
Sir, that's all for the criteria and procedures for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award for infrastructure projects. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Secretariat, through Engineer Brian Augusto for the fourth agenda. So let's continue for the fifth agenda, which is questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. So, Secretariat, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, have questions, comments? None? Fellow BAC members? None. So let's go to the other matters. But before the other matters, for the seventh agenda, summary of proceedings including bid bulletin addenda to be issued. So as a summary, take note, our head secretary, Engineer Brian Nilagusto, for the second project with contract ID number 24BI0038, for particularly the project description from replacement of damaged riprap to slope protection works, close and open parenthesis steel sheet pile with embankment, to replacement of damaged rubble concrete revetment to slope protection works, close and open steel sheet pile with embankment. That is our correction amendment. So we'll issue bid bulletin for this particular project.
Well noted, Mr. Chief.
Okay. So let's continue. Any announcement, reminders, or from our head secretariat?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we have the announcement reminders for the next procurement activities.
Okay, Engineer Brian Arut, please read all the details of these next procurement activities.
For the procurement activity, which is the opening of bids, date of time is January 25, 2024 at 9:01 a.m. Is PRU bidding room, main building, DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya, for 6 civil works projects. For the first project with contract ID number 24BI0037, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Phase 2, Barangay Santa Rosa, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 49 million, and a project description of replacement of damaged riprap to slope protection works, steep chip pile with embankment. Duration is 231 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the second project, with contract ID number 24BI0038, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protects lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Phase 1, Barangay Busilac, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 49 million, and a project description of replacement of a damaged rubble concrete revetment to slope protection works, steep shield pile with embankment, and a duration of 231 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the third project, with contract ID number 24BI0039, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protects lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, construction of Manamtam flood control along Matuno River, Section 2, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 49 million, and a project description of construction of 300 linear meter slope protection works, steep sheet pile with embankment, and a project duration of 230 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the fourth project, with contract ID number 24BI0040, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage system, construction of a Bambang Kupas CIS canal lining and flood control structure. Location of the project is at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 19,600,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 400 linear meter reinforced concrete canal, and a project duration of 201 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the fifth project, with contract ID number 24BI0041, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protects lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structures and drainage system, construction of Bakir flood control structure along Lamot River, Barangay Bakir, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 650 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, and a project duration of 321 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. And for the last project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0042, name of the project, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation, rehabilitation, reconstruction, upgrading of damaged paved roads, tertiary roads, Bambang Kasibu Silano Road, K0320 plus 029 to K0321 plus 250. Location of the project is Quezon at Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 49 million, and a project description of road reconstruction of 1.472 kilometer by 6.70 meters by 280 millimeters thick PCCP, with a project duration of 216 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. That's all, sir, for the announcement reminders for next procurement activities. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Augusto, for reading the next procurement activities, which is on January 25, 2024 at 9 a.m. Again, this to remind fellow back members our jury duty for the next procurement activities. Please attend. So, again, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers have other comments also? So can I hear a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chair, since we have already discussed the basic contract data of the 6 civil works and other requirements of the bidding documents, I move that this procurement activity, particularly this private conference, be adjourned.
Second the motion.
Since it will move and seconded that is private conference, as back chair, I now officially close this private conference. So, good morning sa ating lahat and mabuhay tayo.